Welcome back, peeps. We're gonna talk about sex. Right now, they're a bunch of teenage boys and single men and some putos whose wives or girlfriends aren't around. Typed in a little SCX in the search bar and saw the picture like, ooh, car sex, yeah. No. How do you start this? Something's been bugging me, and I'll tell you why it's been bugging me. At least once a day, I hear, you need to go get laid. You know, it's like, why? I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? Sex is awesome. Sex is great, but, you know, sex doesn't fix anything but underpopulation. And trust me, there's no problem with underpopulation. Sex is good for your cardiovascular system, it's good for stress, it's good for killing time, which, you know, let me say this. That doesn't mean, you know, if you're home and you're bored, you know, go out and hook up with someone. It's something for a couple to do when, you know, when the kids are sleeping, or, you know, had a fight, you know, make up sex. But it doesn't fix anything other than underpopulation. It's healthy, it's natural, but, you know, you don't go and tell someone with a broken heart to go out and get laid. Fuck me, figuratively. You know, I mean, I'm cool. Not stressing about it. But there are people who do that, you know. There are people who, you know, they become single, you know, their girlfriend breaks up with them, or more often, their boyfriend or more often than that, they break up with their boyfriend, and, and they go out and they start messing around. Do you know how much that hurts us dudes? Seriously. You know, you start to feel like you know, like you're nothing but a piece of ass. And, you know, I said before, you know, guys are sensitive. Dang. I'm trying to cut back on the swearing, you know, because my kids watch, and, you know, there are other kids that watch, which is good, because, you know, as a teacher, it allows me to instill, hopefully, some good ideas from the real world, some good things to live by, some good advice. But sometimes you just gotta say, fuck! And I haven't found a beep out button, so, you know, those explicit language notes are still gonna be on there. But I'm not gonna say anything near as bad as what you kids are hearing at school. So, whatever schools you go to. I know, I went to school. Still going to school. You know, career change. You know, and if I can digress, again, kids, follow your dreams. Hang on to your hearts. And, you know, I'll do a video on that later. Life advice for the young and the young at heart. Because you can grow up, not go to school. You could drop out of school in some states, 16, 17, whatever. Some states and some school districts go by a certain grade Don't do that. You're gonna regret it later in life. Now I didn't. I graduated in like the top quarter of my class from high school, and I'm you know, I've been on the dean's list. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm not gonna blow my own horn here. But you know, you can drop out of school, you can graduate from high school, and you can go and find a job and you know, pay your bills, buy some neat little things, and you know, get drunk on Friday and Saturday nights. It's gonna get old real quick. You know, before, during, and after school, the first time I did that, I went out and I got my drink on and, you know, went out and kicked it with the guys. And it gets old, you know. But, you know, graduate high school, go to college. If you've already dropped out of high school, go get your GED, go to college, and do what makes you happy. You know, think about what it is that makes you happy. What do you like to do? Do you like to play video games, like my son does? Then yeah, you know, my son's thinking about going. My older son, I should clarify, is thinking about going to school to be a video game designer. You know, make video games. Trust me, that market's not going anywhere until, you know, we get a massive solar flare and EMP, you know, wipes out all our electrical circuits. It takes, you know, 10 years plus to rebuild it. You know, do what makes you happy. And man, that was a hell of a digression. Sex. You see in movies and music videos, especially if you're into hip-hop and R&B and stuff, rap, even on TV now. My mother, you know, is like really into Glee and Smash and all that stuff. And man, there's a lot of stuff on TV that wasn't on TV when I was growing up. X number of years ago. You're surrounded by sex. How the hell do you think you're able to even watch this video? How am I able to make this video for you? Because people had sex. But it's not a cure, you know. Oh, Khan, go get laid. Dude, woman, it's come from both sides. And my team leader, she is like, because this guy at work yesterday, I think it was, like, you need to go get laid, and he's told me I don't know how many times, and he's gay, and I'm like, yeah, you wish, blah blah blah. And it doesn't bother me that he's gay, you know, and you know, if he wants to marry his boyfriend, you know, I don't care. It doesn't mean I have to, you know, give up on women because the law says I have to marry my best friend, or I'm allowed to. No. Man, I'm all over the map today, aren't I? So he says you need to go get laid, and she says, what's going on? I said, oh, he's giving me the same advice you did. I said, oh, go get laid? I was like, yeah, please. And she goes, well, it might help you forget about her for a little while. I'm like mega smart, okay? And there are just some things I can't forget. Even if I knew someone like that, and then decided that I was in the frame of mind or so deep in depression or whatever that I was going to do that to try to cheer myself up, and I could follow through with it. Come on. What's going to happen? I'm going to feel good for a couple hours, assuming, and I'm going to roll over and go to sleep, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna drive home. And you know what? Well, I'm gonna drive back to my place. It's not much of a, doesn't feel like home right now. Point being, when after it's all done, I'm gonna feel like crap again, man. I'm gonna be exactly where I was and probably worse, because I'd still be, no matter what happens, the heart wants what it wants. It's a paraphrase from her. She said, no matter what the mind decides, the heart wants what it wants. Sex is good. Sex is great. Sex is awesome. Especially if you're good at it. But it doesn't fix your problems. It's going to make you feel good. Ha! I might edit that out. I might not. Let's see. Anyway, it might make you feel good for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, depending on your proficiency and your endurance. But in the end, you still have the same heartbreak, you still have the same problems, you still have the same, the same issues. You know what fixes that stuff? Communication. Time doesn't heal all wounds. Sex doesn't heal all wounds. And just because I said sex is great, don't go out and try to hook up with someone. Kids, wait. Wait till you get to college. Most religions say, wait until marriage. Which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. You're gonna get what you get. I know of someone who did that. No, we're not gonna go there. Don't rush into stuff like that, You're gonna, don't tell someone with a broken heart, or somebody who's stressed out, or somebody who's missing someone, or whatever. Don't tell them to go out and get laid, because they're just going to look at you and start cussing at you in their head. And sex is sex. You know what's better than sex? Making love. What's the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. When you have two people who are like this, in their heart, in their mind, in their soul, they've got that connection. People who can express passion and can feel what it is that you want, feel what it takes to satisfy you. A hookup's not going to give you that. I don't care how good you think you are. It's magical, dude. When you've got the right partner, when you got your partner, when you got your soulmate, it's beyond belief, man. You'll be able to do stuff that. So it's something worth waiting for. Don't go out and just start hooking up thinking it's going to ease your pain, because it's not. A very, very dear friend of mine, she, she's been through some stuff. She got out of a bad marriage, like 2000, beginning of 2008, she was out of it. She moved back to the city then, and she's been through some heavy stuff. And, it wasn't like she was whoring around or anything. But she'll tell you, she's not one to put out. I know some other people who've been through heavy stuff and tried that. Even people, I know one person who in his younger days, many moons ago, he was a player. Yeah, you know, I'm not picking on the ladies, you know, men are pigs too. Well, he wasn't happy. The act of sex releases endorphins in your mind, you know, into your brain, and you get all, you know, your mind expands and explodes or whatever it does for you, and it makes you start thinking you're happy when all you're doing is having, you know, a good time or whatever. Sex is the fool's gold of emotions. You can be having sex with somebody and thinking, oh, I love this person, or oh, I've never been so happy, or wow. And you know, when you're done, you're right back where you were. It's like a drug. It's communication, first of all, that solves your problems. And after that, it's companionship. Being with that one person who makes you feel like the most. Oh, bloody hell! I hate stopping at this light, people. It's not my favorite place to stop. Excuse me. It's the fool's gold of emotions. It can make you feel any number of things, but in the end, you're going to be right back where you were. Point blank. Sorry. Point blank, you know, it's a short-term, feel-good drug. Communication is key to solving your issues. Companionship, that'll make you feel even better because you're there and you're sitting with someone who gets you and knows you and understands and is willing to listen and put in the time and accepts you for any reason. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done. That person, you know, accepts you for who you are. Second one I hate to stop at. I got a list. Point being, you're wasting your time if you think sleeping around is gonna make you feel better, if it's gonna fix anything, make you feel okay. Because it's not. I think my daughter might have accidentally broke that. So, hope you enjoyed your 2 short little trips down on my floorboard. You know, keep your pants on. You're only hurting yourself in the long run, and you're hurting the person. You're hurting the person whose heart you broke. You're not fixing anything. You're just making stuff worse. So, until next time, this is the Mighty Khan. You guys have a good one.